If I were going to have a private reserve, what would I be looking for in that account? Well, I'd probably want for my money to grow without being taxed. And so we call that tax deferred growth. Now, this is such a great opportunity to ask the client, because we want to involve them, we want to engage them. Can you give me an example of a tax deferred account that you have right now? We're trying to gauge if they really understand this. They should be saying, well, yeah, my 401k or my 403b or my IRA, or I don't know if I have a tax deferred account. That's important. Ask the question right there. Tax-free distribution, meaning not only did my money grow without being taxed along the way, but when I took it out, I didn't have to pay taxes on that. Do you have any accounts like that right now? That is so important. Make them tell you what they have, what they know about what they have. Now, the next thing is competitive return. Competitive return is subject to a lot of interpretation. This is a great talking point. And so, you might ask the question, what would you think is a competitive return in today's marketplace? This is such an important place to gauge their expectations. High contributions. What does that mean? Well, that means you get to decide how much you want to put into this. How do you decide what you're putting in your 401k right now? I'm going to say 80-20 rule of life. 80% of people decide how much to put in based on the match. Well, I put in as much as they're going to match. Again, there's no strategy there. That's just, I'm putting in what they're putting in. What if you could put in more? Do you know what the contribution limits are on your 403b, your 457, your 401k? Do you know that the government mandates how much you can put in? Great point of conversation and education. Deductible contributions. Okay, we're talking about our wish list here. Wouldn't it be phenomenal if, as we're funding our private reserve, we got to take a tax deduction? Again, ask them, do you participate in anything today where you get deductible contributions? Well, yeah, that's why I do the 401k up to the match. So literally what we're learning is, because they were given permission by the match, the employer said, I'll match 3%, so I'm going to put in 3%. The government said, I'll give you a deduction to put it in the traditional wrapper. They are literally just following what they've been told. And we understand that because we're asking these questions about what they know when we bring up these characteristics. Collateral opportunities. Do you understand what collateral means? It means that you can pledge this asset to borrow money. The way your balance sheet is set up, Mr. and Mrs. Client, today, what collateral opportunities do you think you currently have? Now, they might say, well, I can get a home equity line of credit, or I've got a mortgage, so it must be the house. Do they even know if they have a collateral opportunity in their 401k? Because we're going to talk about that, aren't we, when we get to the next slide. We don't need to solve everything and define everything here, but we do need to be asking if they know whether anything that they have right now on their balance sheet is giving them some of these benefits, because they may not know. Safe. When I say safe, what does that mean to you? Does that mean you can't lose money? That once you put $1 in, you can never have less than $1? Other than, I suppose, inflation, right? The erosion of your purchasing power. A guaranteed loan option. So not just a collateral opportunity, which means I could, but I'm guaranteed to be able to have access. Do you have anything like that? Is the home equity line of credit that you referenced in your collateral statement, is that guaranteed? Oh, no, you have to apply and qualify, right? Are you guaranteed the opportunity to take a loan in your 401k? We don't know what they don't know. And so we need to ask those questions. Unstructured loan payments. Have you ever borrowed money from someone who said, you know what, pay me back when you can? Probably not. Your mortgage, because it's an amortized loan, is a scheduled installment payment program. Even if you have a home equity line of credit, you have a monthly interest payment you have to make. Most of the loans we've ever taken in our consumer culture are scheduled, structured. So how great would it be, for example, if you borrowed money for an emergency or an opportunity and you said, you know what, October through December is an expensive time of the year. We've got Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas, we've got lots of birthdays. I would love it if I could pay every month, but then take the fourth quarter off every year. Wouldn't that be cool? We need to tease this out so that they understand, what if I only paid off a loan that I took advantage of when I got a bonus? When my restricted stock unit expiration came due and now I have access to the money. There's such power in not having structured loan payments, flexibility, options, and we need to paint the picture for what that really means. Liquidity, use, and control. We in the Money Tracks community talk about this a lot, but I think we race through those words and assume that people know what we're talking about. What does liquidity mean? Come up with the scenario that says liquidity. The furnace went out the same day that the transmission went out, on the same day that somebody broke my window. I need some cash. I need a lot of cash, even just to pay the deductibles. Where could I get my hands on that kind of money quickly? Use and control. I can use the money the way I want to. I can control the terms on how I'm going to pay it back. I don't have to get someone else's permission to access capital. Home equity line of credit, got to get permission. Additional benefits. Now, what would be an example of an additional benefit? Well, what if my private reserve gave me the opportunity, if I got sick or was in an accident and I couldn't work, to skip making contributions for a while? Okay. We can talk about additional benefits. What if? But the fact of the matter is, while a lot of accounts could serve as a private reserve, some work better than others.